gotta set the vibes right every time, man. Welcome back.
Feels good to be
feeling
back.
good. It always feels good. Even if we do it day after day, it feels good every time.
Facts.
Well, again, welcome back. It's your boy Kaz. You can follow my IG at CAZ_0.
You already know it's your boy Chris. You can follow me on IG at Mathis023.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then today, we switching it up a little bit.
Switching it up.
All right, we got a lovely couple in the building today because on this show we love love. All right, let you hear the background noise. Let's introduce them real quick. Whoever wants to go first.
All right, hey guys, I'm Jackie. What's going on?
And then I'm her boyfriend, obviously, Devon.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I like how you self-proclaim that already. Like, I'm her boyfriend. Like,
See, I told you we
He's
love
trying
love.
to start off on good graces.
You gotta claim it.
Yeah,
like,
see?
you gotta show her off.
Thank
gotta
you.
Yes.
claim it.
Thank you. He's starting off strong. I love it.
He's like, I'm her boyfriend.
That's me.
I'm her boyfriend.
You heard me for the public to know.
We need more men like you out there.
Facts.
For real.
Right?
For real.
I didn't even expect that. I got chills right now. I feel the jitters. But you know how it is, man. We like to get right into it. So, we're doing a little research, learning about this lovely couple here. I want to know, obviously we have a relationship here, some common myths about relationships. Like from your experience, you've been together, what, 2019 you said?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. So like,
So this September will be 3 years.
so like
yeah,
before you
2019.
got in a relationship, maybe you were thinking X, Y, Z. Now that you're in it, like, is there anything that you're like, damn, that's definitely not what I thought? Not necessarily about the person, just about being in a relationship in general.
Yeah,
I think for me the biggest thing was
ahead.
living with somebody.
Okay.
That was like your significant other, your partner.
How quick did you move in together?
quick because of COVID. So you got to think.
Well,
we're-
you
so that's
technically
right.
were
So,
like,
but, yeah. So like I told you guys, like I used to work at the food truck on FAU's campus, and I used to live up in Boynton. I could get off at 11 o'clock. It wasn't worth me driving 30 minutes up to Boynton. She lived right around the corner. I'd
Right.
stop at her place, shower, end up falling asleep, wake up next morning, class, school, whatever, and then go to work and just repeat it.
Yeah.
So I was there often, and I ended up pretty much having a drawer there because I was there
That's how
so
it
much.
goes.
And it wasn't like on purpose.
It just
It was
happened.
just right.
Yeah.
Like it was convenient to drive 5 minutes to her house, shower, fall asleep when I worked for 12 hours. Like I said, it wasn't on purpose. It was
Just
it was
happened that
right.
way.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, January, February, March, COVID hits. Then I'm stuck there anyway. We don't have school. We're working 100% remote. And then
April we moved.
so we ended up finding a house to rent, and we just 2 days, 3 days after finding the house, like moved in.
Damn.
And then we've been at the same location.
So we went from like early stages of dating to we've got 2 dogs and a full house with like
Oh,
a
this a whole
pool
family.
and it's
and
a
it was-
single family
and
home.
it wasn't planned. It was like I said, COVID happened.
You think
and
it
we-
made you guys better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you,
So
I'm
for
gonna be
sure.
honest. I'm
Every
gonna be
day?
honest. Right. If you could get through COVID, damn near you could get through anything. Because
Facts.
you
Yeah.
gotta
In the
understand,
house,
Facts.
24 hours?
Because you have to realize during COVID, you couldn't even go to dinner. Like there
Yeah.
was no dates. It was you were physically together, sun up to sundown.
But
sleeping
even
next to
then,
each
like
other.
I think during COVID, the way we made it was we
did,
had
like, house
so many
dates.
rooms. Yeah, so like we had so many rooms. So during the day, he was in his office, I was in mine. We made sure though that like we'd meet in the kitchen for lunch and say hi and talk a little bit,
Yeah,
or
it
like
was-
I'd still text him from the other room. And then at night,
sounds
even
really
when we
dumb,
had.
but like
No, I mean that's
you have
Yeah.
to.
It's
you
kind of
need that
like if
break
you're
from each
if
other.
you
You're
were at
right.
work.
Exactly.
crazy.
You need to like still have your own independence
Right.
and like want to be alone because that's good for just yourself. But then like we would have for the longest time we didn't have furniture in our dining room, so I would light
So,
like
like I said,
candles
yeah,
and
we'd
put a
do, like,
blanket
house
out and do
dates.
like dinner dates inside. And if we had somebody in the house, they'd be like, "Hey, go sit in the guest room so I can have a dinner date." Like you have to,
It's like,
you had
it's
to
just-
make the
you
time.
had to makeshift
yeah,
stuff to make it work because you're stuck in a house. Like there was no Disney. Disney's 3 hours away. We
Right.
can do that on a weekend or a day, no problem.
yeah.
do anything.
You can't do
physically-
anything.
I
like,
mean, I
our
think all
dates-
we had was the beach. A couple weeks
Yeah.
after they opened that, but
Yeah,
other than
that,
even
like-
then it wasn't even like
Yeah.
that was probably a month and a half.
yeah.
So I mean, like I said, we were doing. I mean, we had people over all the time.
Yeah,
we had to.
We
I
were
think-
just
I
we
think
were
everybody
throwing
did.
barbecues
anybody
like it was
followed the
nothing.
rules.
Like we had barbecues. We were having full blown like pool parties.
We actually
like,
had a brunch one day. We had a house brunch. You remember that, right?
We did not follow the rules
Oh,
at all.
not
no,
at
we were
all.
horrible.
We were out
COVID.
every day.
They're
Yeah.
talking about CDC says no more than 5 people. I think we had like 20 people.
Yeah,
in
we
the
probably
house
had like
brunch.
20.
Yep.
We bought like the champagne, the
We probably had
mimosas,
like
everything.
20, 30 people at a barbecue at one point. That's how serious it was. Like, so you got to make it work. Like, you got to figure out. But to answer your question about a misconception, or like a myth about dating is, like, when you live together, you spend all day together, but people still think like
that's spending time with each other.
Yeah, it's spending time together. It's really not.
Okay.
Like physically spending time together. So, and we've hit ruts like that. Like we're together, but we're sitting and watching TV. Or like,
like there's no like communication. Like just because we're in the same room doesn't mean we're hanging out.
Right.
And I think that's a big thing.
That's still bonding.
You're sharing a space, but you don't have to be communicating with
you
each other.
become roommates at that point.
Okay.
Instead of being in a relationship where there's, intimacy and this and that, it's you just get comfortable and you start acting like roommates. So like you may be in the same room, but you're not talking. You'll sit there for hours and
without realizing hours go past though.
Yeah, like
it's
it
not
just
like you're ignoring
easy.
each other. It's like it's easy. So prioritizing and making time without realizing. Like, we don't sit down and we're like, okay, every Wednesday, usually we're here today.
Well, she's the planner, so.
Well,
Wednesday night is usually our night.
Wednesday nights are usually like our nights. Like, we have TV shows that we watch together. We play like board games. Like, really
dumb. Wednesday.
Yeah.
No, but we talk, like, it's fine. We have the shows like on Apple TV. We just go and buy them. So, like, so we're good. But usually like Wednesdays are like our night. And then we usually like plan like a date night, like go out to dinner or something. But we don't sit there and like, okay, every Saturday we're doing dinner.
Yeah, I hate that. Like, I like a little bit of spontaneity, but like certain things like TV shows and everything like that, that's good. It's nice to have like something that's always there for the both of you where you can bond over a TV show or whatever it is.
Right.
But it was nice though, because even when we were just in Park City, we celebrated Valentine's Day. But then last weekend, he's like, no, I want to take you to dinner and just celebrate one-on-one. Like, that to me, of him going out and, like, taking the time to plan a dinner and everything, I think was something nice that he went out of his way to do. But most women think, like, oh, every man's just going to plan every dinner date and this and that. No, there are times where I'm like, babe, take me on a date.
You get, like, really
plan
comfortable
something.
in relationships. And you'll hear everyone, like, preach, oh, relationships are tough. Like, you got to make it work. And I always thought, like, everyone says it. And I always thought it was kind of like blowing smoke, like, oh yeah, like how hard can it be? But like if you're dating and you don't live together, you text all day, you plan dates or stuff like that. But when you live together, it's very easy to get comfortable. And like she said, getting like a roommate kind of vibe. And you really have to recognize it.
And work
on it. Because if you don't, you'll be stuck in a roommate phase. And then 3 months will go by without you really realizing it. And then there's like nothing to the relationship.
I feel like that happens a lot with a lot of people who live together where there's no way to really like spice it up. Because like you said, you get comfortable and then it's just like, well, she's already here. He's already here.
Right.
Like kind of forget to plan
That's
dates
what it is.
or plan
and it's not time. And it's not even maybe forgetting. It's more the fact of you just don't realize how much time
just flies. Right. Especially as you get older. Like that's something I've noticed is time just flies by. Like if you would tell me, oh, you've been with Devon for 2.5 years, I'd have to sit there and do the math and be like, no, I haven't. And then I'm like, oh, crap, no, it really has been almost 2.5 years. Like that to me
we talked about it earlier. We all have full-time jobs. Like we're not just college students anymore.
Yeah.
Like we're adults now. So it's pretty easy to not realize how much time has gone by because you work full-time. You come home. I go to the gym. She started coming to the gym with me now, just spend more time together. But like if you have your own routines, you just don't realize how much time's passed. Like there are days where we'll do our own thing and then 10 o'clock hits and we're both in bed and we're like, damn, we haven't spent much time together. Let's figure something out right now.
Sometimes that's a normal day.
Right. Yeah. But you just don't realize how much time might pass on that schedule when you live together.
I think the other misconception that I had going into this relationship in particular was, in my opinion, I don't like to think of the fact that like, oh, he wears the pants. I like to think of it as it's 50-50. That's how a relationship has to be or it doesn't work. It is a give and take. So there are times where, he's like, no, I'm driving. Okay, he wears the fucking pants when we're in the car. He's behind the wheel. He's the man, whatever. We're at home and it comes to packing. Little miss over here is the one who takes control.
It is definitely give and take.
So if it's 50-50, do you each take like turns paying the bill?
At dinners and stuff like that? That's our deal. Whoever
it's like 75-25.
Yeah, it's more or less of like whoever asks.
That's how I am.
Okay. It's more, and it's not like I'm like.
That's a good balance.
If I ask him on a date and I said, babe, we're going to dinner, I want to go here. Like, come on, I'm taking you on a date. I'm paying.
Okay.
But for the most part,
if I'm like, we should do dinner, and he's like, okay, what about here? He pays.
So like the vacation when we just went to Utah for Valentine's and everything, I paid for the rental car. I paid for
All our food.
Well, no, that's
Well,
what I
except
was
for
gonna
a
say.
couple
So like
things.
I paid for dinners. I paid for all the like tubing, snowmobiling, like everything that we did. And because I took care of everything else, she was like, "I'm gonna take care of lunches."
Yeah, like I took care of
So
lunches,
she
or
took
like
care
if
of
we had
the
to run to the
lunches.
store, I
Right.
bought all that stuff.
Coffees in the morning, she took care of. Like,
Okay.
It doesn't have to be an even
Yeah, it's not
split,
like I
but
pay
it's when you
everything,
give something is better than nothing.
Right.
Like if I were to
Right.
sit
So it's
there
like
and
75-25 when it comes to like dinners or dates.
Yeah.
It's like 75.
I'm the same way because I like to have, as a man, I like to have a slight edge.
Yeah,
you know?
but I still,
Because 50-50 is cool, but I want to show a little
right,
extra
you
love.
want to take care of,
Yeah.
you know, as a
And
man, you want to
right.
take care of your woman.
Right.
But at the same time, you still want to be taken care of too.
Exactly.
You don't want to
Yes.
be shelling out a bunch of shit for nothing in return.
And I
You
think
don't-
that's
and
the
I don't-
only thing that I agree with is like outside of the house, the men 100% can wear the pants. When they come home though, it's let me take care of you. Like you go sit on the couch. Do you need me to make you food? Do you like and yesterday I texted him and I said he was out of the house. I said, "Do you need me to cook you dinner or do you have something already made?" Because I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna get up and eat and I'm gonna, chill and smoke and do whatever, I'm like,
man's gonna
I
eat too.
gotta ask him first before he wonders why I'm one with the couch. I have one last myth
so bad.
about going into
had
a
to come for you a little
relationship
bit.
I feel it. It's all
that
good.
I
It's all
think
good.
is a big flag that every guy already knows. Girls get really insecure, they get emotional, they become whiny, pain in the asses. But I think the biggest thing that I had noticed within myself is there's always those girls who will text you and say like, "Oh, you liked this girl's picture," or get scared like, you're out with the guys, you may be at Hooters, are you looking at other girls? You gotta have trust in your man,
Yeah,
because
that's
it doesn't
Thank
matter
you.
if he
Thank
goes
you.
out with the guys.
yeah, like
He
I mean,
still
you
comes
know,
home.
like,
He comes home to
we
you.
have guys' nights.
Cheers.
Yes.
Please.
Like we used
Cheers.
to,
I need-
me, Chase, and Chris used to do
Cheers.
guys' night a lot. Like we go to. I remember there's a story. We went to Honey, and this again, Honey's trash now, but this was when Honey was kind of
It used to
busted,
be popping. It was popping.
right? And there was literally a group of girls. There was like 3 or 4 of them, and it was me, Chris, and Chase. And these girls recorded us and came up to us and was like, "Oh, you guys are hilarious." We were at the bar dancing. And the caption of the video was when he said, it was like, a girl, it was like, "Oh, you think your man's cheating on you when he goes out with your friends and this is what they're actually doing." We knew everybody at Honey, so all
That's me.
the bartenders
That's
were
me.
fucking with us, the bouncers were fucking with us, and these chicks just walked up and were like, "Damn, you guys are fun." Like, so, I mean, I've gone to Hooters multiple times for like UFC fights.
I heard you say that. I feel like places like Hooters, Twin Peaks, whatever, like, if your man's going there, I mean, me personally, I am not going there to talk to women. I'm
No,
probably
like he's going to
'cause
watch
I'm
the
going there
fights
to
and
watch
hang
the
out with
game.
the
Eat some
guys
food.
and everything.
I'm with the guys,
The few
like, let's
times
just-
that I've been like out to a bar or somewhere that's like a bar club or anything like that, and he's doing his thing and I'm doing my thing, there's only been one time that I've seen a girl make a move or like it just get a little too close, and another girl that's a friend of his had to step in, was like, before she does anything, and she put her body between them. She's like, I know it's not him. I know it's this drunk girl, but I'm going to save this. And she cut in knowing that I
like,
would,
even when we
I
go
would have a
out to
problem
drink,
with it.
Like when we used to go out to party, Level, Honey, Fort Lauderdale.
We were out as a
Miami.
group, but it was never like we're clingy or
yeah,
anything
like,
like that. We vibe as a group.
Yeah, like we're never like up each other's ass, and I think that's healthy too in a sense of relationship. Like literally, we'll be out at the same place,
Doing
I'll have
our
my
own
group
thing.
of friends. She'll have her group of friends, and we don't have to be right next to each other. Like I'll be on the dance
Yeah.
floor, she'll be by the
You're
bar.
always up his
or-
ass, like, "Oh, I see you looking at that girl." There was none of that.
No,
I'm like,
no.
you used to go out with us a lot, so you
Yeah.
can speak from experience. Like we
You
would
put a lot of trust into him. That's good.
I've tried. I try. No, like
So-
there's been times that like we've gone out, even with you, we'd go to Honey and I'm gonna have a couple of drinks, I'm gonna meet some random girls. Okay, like we're gonna go and dance. There's times where, he's out dancing with Chris and Chase and just hanging out with the guys on the other side, but he always makes sure he can keep me in his eyesight.
Yeah, as long as I can see
And
her
that's something
and make
that
sure she's okay, then
Yeah.
I'm gonna be Like, I don't have to be by her.
Like, that knows that
But if I
I'm
can see
out
her
and I'm with girls, or
and
even if I'm by
something
myself.
happens, then I have a clear like line to her.
Right.
But I don't need to be by her the whole time.
Well, you can still enjoy the company
Right.
of the group you're with.
Right.
Yeah. There's only one time that he's had to, like,
Twice.
okay, twice. That he's had to come over and that he's either almost gotten into a fight or somebody's ended up getting
When we
kicked
first
out.
started the date, like, someone got kicked out of Honey, and I fought somebody at Honey. And
Yep.
then I almost fought somebody right outside of Honey, and you were with me when I almost got into a fight outside of Honey. And no bullshit, like, as a man, like, I'm hate saying this, but I got to put my pride aside, I would 100% got my ass kicked. This dude was like 6'3", 250, like bodybuilder swole. And we were walking out, it was Halloween. And you, Chase, we were all together, and it was a fat ass, we probably had 10 people. And this dude, like, was talking crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, so what you trying to do? And he, like, walked in the middle of oncoming traffic trying to fight me.
Jeez.
And I turned around, and I was like, where's, like, my friends? Like, if we fought, I would have fought one-on-one. I would expect them to jump in. But I'm like, where the fuck are my friends?
He got dipped on.
Yeah, they were all still inside drinking, and they were the ones trying to get us to leave.
I think I was probably dancing my ass off.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, you were there?
He was there.
Yeah.
I was dancing. Okay, I was probably chasing some booty.
You probably see. Thank you for having.
No,
that.
you were having a party with yourself.
Yeah, so-
which is
but-
fine.
He do be dancing by himself.
You do. That's the
like
thing I love
dancing.
about Chris.
He'd be on the floor, too.
I know.
That man's like back. He's like,
No, don't let him
No,
find the mirror.
it's like
Let me tell the people something real quick. For the people who really fuck with us, they might not know this man Chris loves to dance. We both do. But if he finds a mirror, he will dance. He will dance with himself for hours.
yes.
Oh, my
Hours.
shadow. Just a bright light on me, I'll dance with my shadow.
Nobody loves himself more than you love yourself.
You ever seen like the old Apple commercials and you just see like the shadow of them dancing?
Yeah.
That's what I look like.
Hey,
And
you
I
wanna know
like that.
There you go.
You wanna know what he's gonna be when he's like 60 years old, 70 years old? You remember the Six Flags commercial, the bald white dude?
Oh yeah,
That's gonna be him.
Hey, so I gotta ask. I know it's a little bit personal, but how does it feel to date outside like your tax bracket?
I prefer it.
Really?
Yeah.
So she was born and raised in Boca. So
Okay.
she's
Well, I'm not born.
well,
I
not
was
born,
raised.
but
I was
she was raised around this area. So she sees like, you know, obviously there's levels to it. Everyone can talk about levels to it, but like it's like, you know, here's Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, that, and then there's, you know, whatever, all the way down to, you know, homeless in a sense. So when we first started the date, it was definitely uncomfortable.
Okay.
And I was like, you know, our first date, she took me to Zoom in Miami, and I don't know.
Comfortable for you? Or
Yeah,
for both?
for me.
Okay.
She was fine with it. But, you know, in my head, I was
As a
like,
guy,
As a man, I understood
I
where he
was
came
like,
from.
You want to be the provider.
right, I was like,
Yeah.
I can't give you the lifestyle you're used to right now.
Yeah, we were talking about our first date, and I
our
said
first
that's where I
date,
wanted to go.
She wanted to go to Zuma in Miami. And for the viewers, if you've been there, you know it's a nice restaurant. If you guys have been, you know it's a nice
I
restaurant.
actually haven't been there.
Zuma, fantastic food, but pricey. You know, you're in Miami, you're in a hotel, you know, water view, like all that shit. So that was our first date. And I'm like, she was
and
like,
I paid.
right.
I paid.
Yeah.
And she paid.
I paid.
And I straight up told her.
First date.
She hit me up. She was like, hey, I want to take you here. I'm like, I can't go to dinner there. Like, I can't afford dinner there.
And I said, no, I
And she goes,
asked
"No,
you
I asked
on the
you. I
date.
wanna
I'm
pay."
paying.
Damn.
So,
I don't think I would have been able to do that.
so I was like,
lie.
He was so
Why not?
scared.
It's
I got so
definitely-
mad
again-
because I didn't want him to see the check because I knew that how much it was. And I said, I'm treating you. Like, I already knew when we started dating that he couldn't provide that all the time. But me, as somebody who worked her butt off, I did come from a very, you know, wealthy family. It was nothing that I hadn't experienced as a young kid. My mom had me at 17. I grew up in Grandma and Grandpa's house. I grew up off of Davie Road, 10 minutes from here.
Okay.
Like I'm originally a Dania girl, and most people don't even know where that
Oh, I know
city
where-
is. Like I grew up at that poverty line. And then as, you know, my mom met my dad, they took off with this business and it provided so much, but I was lucky enough to see both sides. So for me, I had been introduced to other people who had so much money. And it was more or less of like that became the core of every problem. And I found that if I was going to be in a relationship with somebody, I didn't have to worry about what class they were in. I needed to worry about what kind of person they were. And when he said, I can't, you know, really afford to take you there, I was like, he was honest. He told me instead of
yeah, I
trying to
was gonna
scrape
ask.
every
And-
penny
don't-
together.
And we've been together for 2.5 years, so I've seen, more than I would have ever imagined seeing. But there's times, like, I know people that are friends with her dad, like friends around them, that are 100% greedy, that are like, oh, you're paying? Yeah, I'll go to dinner with you. But they're the last person to pick up the bill. Like,
people like that.
Yeah.
Right. And
I like that you're real about it, though.
I would never,
I'm brutally honest about it.
I would never, ever do that. Like, there was a situation over the weekend. Her mom was like, I left my sunglasses at her mom's house. Her mom was out of town. She goes, oh, go to the mall and buy a new pair and I'll give you money.
Yeah, she's like, go to my sales associate. She'll bring it on my credit card. Go to Saks and go buy a new pair. And he's like, no.
It's like, you're gone for 4 days. Like, I'll wait to get my sunglasses back.
Right.
Like, they're not that. But I'm sure there's people that if they were,
they'd be like, oh, yeah, bet I get a new free
Gone.
pair of
They take advantage of
sunglasses.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think if you're dating outside your tax bracket, whether it's a guy dating a woman that doesn't make what they're used to, or vice versa, like our situation, if you're real about it, then it doesn't matter what you make because you're gonna be real about it.
That's
Like,
what
you
I
have
think.
to- if you're transparent about it, you're like, hey, I can't afford this. Don't think I'm gonna be able to afford this. Then
I think you being real from the jump, from day one, really like.
That was the closer
Help
for
the-
me.
yeah.
That was a closing on respect of okay, because when you're even young in college, people don't want to talk about money because most college kids don't have anything.
Right.
So like everybody's on the same area. But the fact that he came to me and said that, I was, damn, this man has my respect already because he's being genuine about it. But that's the one thing is couples get so scared to talk about money, and I don't. To me, I didn't care if we were together 2 weeks or 2 years. Just be honest.
something else I've learned though too is that there's a difference between you having money and your family having money.
Yeah.
So she grew up
Tell
with
that to my bank account.
she grew up with a lifestyle because of what her dad made.
Right.
But she doesn't have that money. If she had that money, we may have a different conversation.
Yeah.
But her dad has that money. So now where we're at now, because she's gotten older and she's out of college, like her dad has obviously stepped back a little bit. Still provides a lot for her and me, but stepped back a lot. So now we're in a position where we make almost the same, and we have to pay our own bills. Like we pay for everything ourselves in a sense. That the tax thing,
It's now gone away.
Right,
Because
isn't as big of a deal.
I'm not.
She's not dependent on her dad the way
Yeah.
she was when we
Right.
first started the date.
When I moved into my apartment, I had,
Her dad paid
X
her
amount of
rent.
money
Yeah.
that I wanted, that I could afford to pay every month. And I said, okay, well, this is what I want. And my parents said, well, if you're moving out, we're going to pay the difference because these are, the security things we want from you. So I said, okay. When we were living in the apartment, I was still dependent on my dad to give me his side of the rent because even together we couldn't afford it. And then
So
moving
it was-
into this house,
So starting
saved
off,
it.
if a woman is dependent on her family for money, you have to be transparent. Be like, hey, I can't afford this lifestyle. Like, if you want to be with me, cool. You know what you're getting. If you don't want to, then that's fine. You know who I am. Because she was cool with it, it didn't hurt my pride at all. Because now
That's
again,
a green flag.
I was gonna say, I
because
feel
now
like it all.
huge
we're in
green
a
flag.
we're in a
It's
2.5
like a
year
respect, though,
relationship
thing.
Yeah.
that now it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, her dad still does a lot for us, but now we're at an almost even level.
Right.
it's also nice though, like he came into the relationship telling me, okay, I can't afford to take you here and do this, this, and this. But he was also respective of knowing that that's where I came from. But he also believed in me when I said, I don't always need that. What I really need is a partner.
That's a big hump to get over too, though, because they could say that, but because they're used to it,
Right.
you still want to give
So
them
you kind of
that.
have to like see the actions a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so our first Christmas together, she went nuts. And
I went really.
I could not do what she did.
It was bad.
Like, she
bad.
spent probably $2-3 grand on me where I spent $400 on her. So our first Christmas was a huge deal because I couldn't do what she was used to, and she
This
went
was.
overboard.
So you started dating in September 2019. This
2019.
was Christmas 2019. Yeah. Damn, that's
This
quick
was
too.
2 years together.
My dad was already buying
months.
him presents.
So I'm sure as a
Jeez.
guy, you're like, that's kind of overwhelming a little
Right.
bit.
Like I felt bad. She was like, no, I love everything you got me. Like, this is awesome. But like, still, I was like, damn, like,
You don't feel like you matched.
right.
it.
I feel like
think
I
my-
couldn't give her what she could give me.
I think the
And
biggest thing was
it's
I didn't
definitely
look.
like a hump to get over because, like I said, she could say it didn't matter, but this is what she's used to. How do I know she's not just trying to make me feel better?
I think that the main difference with that is even at that time, I was terrible with money back then, but I wasn't looking at what like the price tags were. I wasn't, really paying attention to that. And he did. And I wasn't thinking like, oh, it's a name brand or, it cost X amount of money. I was just like, oh my God, he would love this. I know he needs it. I'm getting it. Like that's where I always came from. But it was a respect thing because he knew where I came from, that how I grew up. And he took that and said, okay, that's you and this is me. And if we can move forward together and just respect that, then we're good. And as we've gone on, it's made us, I think, stronger in a sense to last longer.
I was about to say this is some of like the most real, like humble.
This is shit people don't.
Because dead ass, if her family lost it all tomorrow, I'd still be with her.
Yep.
And if her family quadrupled it overnight, I'd still be here.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't change the way.
And that's the thing is people are so scared to talk about money when you're in a relationship.
You have to.
It doesn't matter. You have to be transparent. You have to be upfront and say, hey, now we're living together. This is what I can contribute to bills. This is what I expect out of this. And you just have to be okay with that.
Money's not at the center of your relationship.
Exactly. And at this day and age, it's really hard to find somebody who doesn't.
Most relationships.
Especially down here, you have a lot of girls chasing boats, purses,
penthouse parties.
You don't got a blue check.
Jewelry.
They not
Right,
fucking
you
with
got Miami an hour away. If that, you got money.
We talk about this all the time because dude could be ugly.
Facts.
No
I know
personality.
So much money.
I know so many people in Miami that buy bottles and they got 50 bitches at their table, but they're
you look at the dude and you're like, bro, like what happened to you?
Right, and it's literally just because girls want the lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what it comes down
is.
to, especially down here.
I mean, at least you guys were able to kind of maneuver through that.
Yeah.
Early too, which was great
Early.
because this honestly is a very toxic area to date, just in general. So the fact that you guys could establish that clarity early on and like you said, communicating about money is not something easy to do, but especially so early in the relationship, like I feel like you can only go up from there because you already understand each other on that level.
Once you have that respect on what you can afford, where you're financially at, then you're good. Now everything afterwards is your personality and how you treat the relationship and what you put into it.
Right.
And after that, it's super freaking easy. Like, I don't know, like, with him, he's the epitome of the opposite of anything I had before, where it was either only all about money or all about anything that wasn't the relationship. Status.
That's what I've met a few of her exes without knowing they were her exes, and they were very, like, Boca in South Florida. They were very about status and money, and, if I had, say you had a Rolex on, and your Rolex, say, was 10 grand, and then I had a Rolex on, but mine was 15 grand, I would show it off more because it's status.
Yeah. You would talk about the price tags.
I could have
just because I'm around
a $2 million watch on, and I'm just going to cover it up like it's not something to me.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what I think that I like.
It doesn't matter how much money you have, that's going to definitely show through regardless.
Yeah.
Especially like everyone, a lot of people have money down here. So
a lot of people.
It's
again,
not
there's levels
really,
to it, but a lot of people.
I think
it's kind of the norm. So you don't really stand out that much
unless you're like super
unless you're
up
that
there.
guy.
Right? Yeah, unless you're that guy.
Like even my dad, and I think that's where I learned it from. Was my dad? He could make X amount of money a year. You will never see the man dress up to work. He wears a faded black T-shirt, like Michael Jordan. Like this thing is probably 7 years old.
Dude, when I tell you, like if this man passed me on the side of the street,
you would never know who he is.
You'd really think like it was.
That's where you get your humbleness from.
That's where I learned to manage it, because my dad's always.
Yeah.
He met him once the night at the house.
Yeah, you met him at the house.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
he was very humble. I couldn't even tell.
He came downstairs in boxers on accident because he forgot everybody was here.
He's. Like I said, if you pass him on the side of the street,
you'd never know.
That man would you'd probably be like, oh, he probably makes 50 grand a year.
Like people like that.
You'd never know.
He's in black shorts, black shirt, and literally he wears black Asics.
Yeah.
Can't go
like
wrong
he doesn't even wear his J's anymore. Like it's so bad. Like he doesn't. And you'd never know.
Black shirt, black shorts, black Asics, and that's it.
Even to work though, even before COVID, he used to wear these beat up. These things were like 15 years old, beat up. slides.
Yeah.
Like rubber
Simple-
Adidas
simple guy.
slides.
Super simple.
Yeah. But my dad
This
always
man's
said
meeting like attorneys and because he's
bankers.
the boss. This dude's meeting like governors and like he met Ron DeSantis and my man was in flip flops and
In basketball shorts.
basketball shorts.
My dad's like, I got nothing to prove. Like, I'm comfortable. I'm going to be comfortable. But looking at him, I think that was like the epitome of, I don't want to say like he's like my dad, but he has traits that remind me of him that make me go like, this man is humble. This man has respect. This man doesn't care if Joe Schmo next to him's got 20,000 times what he has in the bank. He cares about himself. He has respect for himself and others around him. And that's all that matters. It's not about 2022, I'm making all this money as an influencer on Instagram or look at what I got. It's, I got respect for myself like he did when we got on. He claimed me as his girlfriend. He goes, no, I'm going to take charge on that. And it's that. And that's how a relationship is. It's give and take and respect. And if you can't have it, you can't take it.
Let me hit that real quick.
It's my rant.
I appreciate you guys so much.
For real.
So much. Unfortunately, the camera is about to cut out, so we gotta
Cut it.
we gotta wrap it up a little. How long we got? 3 minutes. So yeah, we'll get a little outro going. But again, thank you guys so much. Like this was very insightful. Probably for a lot of people too.
Yes.
Maybe entering a relationship, maybe trying to spice their relationship up. Maybe things they didn't know about it. So again, thank you. You can drop your Instagram one time for the people.
Jacqueline Alexis.
Mine's Devon _day, I think 4. Honestly, I don't even remember my Instagram. I'm not
No,
gonna post like that.
nobody ever does.
Devon.day4.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to social media. Like I really don't care that much.
Yeah, we just say to drop it, but
Yeah, I feel you.
I don't think no one's ever followed. I'm sorry, I don't think they follow ours neither. So, but you go ahead.
And again, it's your boy Chris. You can follow me at IGMathis023.
And it's your boy Kaz. You can follow IG at CAZ_0. But you know we got to do it. Don't leave yet.
Yes.
You can follow this podcast because if you're not going to follow us, then follow this podcast. Like, review, subscribe, share with your mama, your daddy, your friends, everybody. Worldwide. We going worldwide. Why not? You can follow it at Can I Vibe with y'all on all platforms. We are everywhere for you guys. So again, thank you guys. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you
course.
boys
Outta
for having
here.
us up.
Yes, thank
for
you.
coming. Thank you.
You know, I got